I love it when people come out birding with me because I normally go out on my own and I just get so excited and just want to share the experience. I think if a lot of people could make the connection between country and healing, how our mob have always done it, traditionally, being on country and, using bush medicines, using all the knowledge and stories about country to empower yourself. I reckon birding would have to be a really good strategy to improve mental well-being. I am a Ballardong woman from the Ngaarda Nation. I've lived in the Pilbara in Roebourne, Karratha and Dampier for the last nearly 15 years. I moved up here with my husband and twin baby boys. They were 3 months old when we came up here. Unfortunately, my husband got very sick and passed away at the age of 50 in 2012. I was really sick. I ended up contracting streptococcal pneumonia. I was extremely stressed and run down with the situation of supporting him and looking after the children and working. I wanted the whole of my body and social, emotional well-being to be really centred and grounded and focused again. So I took up photography as a way to relax, feel grounded on the earth, to get away from mobile phones, computers, all of that technology. When I started birding, I knew nothing about birds. The only birds that I knew were little corellas, and I didn't know one honeyeater from another, and there's about 13 different varieties of honeyeaters up here. I've learnt a lot from the traditional owner ladies, Mum Violet, Mum Pansy, a lot of the Injabundi ladies. I've read a lot of books and learnt a lot from my friends on Facebook and Instagram. I've never fallen into the water and I've never been attacked by a mother bird because my rule is if I can't camouflage myself before I get to a bird spot, I'll walk over quietly and slowly and sit down. And if the birds stay and know I'm there, that's all well and good. But if they leave, that's all well and good. I've had some terrible slides and slid down my back on both of my sides like this. Yeah, like that. The camera and the lens is the most important thing. I'm still walking around with bark taken off from where I slipped last weekend. One year, a few years ago now, I entered an Explore WA competition, and basically, I don't know if they still happen, but basically the idea was to take photographs of country or animals. I won from first to fifth. So I basically won a whole camping kit. That was awesome. That camping kit is amazing. I love those stainless steel mugs. We'll start bird tours next year, and we've branded it Pilbara Punk. We have a couple of unique pigeons here. Benefax pigeon, which is one of them. The race that we have here in the Pilbara is different or unique. My all-time favourite is of this very, very, very angry-looking blue-winged kookaburra that just flew into this. I was at a waterhole that was drying up really fast. I was low to the ground. There were lots of birds around. It was middle of summer. This blue-winged kookaburra, a really big bugger, just flew in with a very raspy call, and all the little birds just split because blue-winged kookaburras aren't very nice they're very territorial and not very nice to smaller birds. I got the most beautifulest photos of this bird. Just have a look at its eyes and its bill and just tell me if you don't think that's mean. A typical day would involve me scouting out some possible bird places. I would have a look at the tide charts and see what time high tide and low tide is. I would also have a look around to see if we had any groundwater in any of the pools. I've opted for coming to dams like the Harding Dam here, or going to the coast, to the water, and when I can get out, because this next bit takes a bit of time to do, is go fairy wren and lark stalking in the open plains, mulga and spinifex areas. Sometimes I go out and there's nothing around for a number of reasons. Might be the weather. Birds pick up on weather change. Could be windy. Small birds don't like flying around. As you know, this is raptor country where we live. Small birds are really wary of raptors, and plus when it's really windy here, little birds can't fly as strong as they normally would if it wasn't windy. The time of day that I get up is about, depending on where I'm going to, if I'm going around close by home, I'll get up about 40 minutes before sunrise, and I'll have a cup of coffee. I will have packed my gear the night before, so it will be near the front door ready for me to grab it and go and put into the vehicle, and I'll be ready, camoed up, with a net over me maybe, or in some bushes, waiting for birds at the spots that I go and research or check out the day before. I've been down south to a lot of places down south from Dampier. I've been to Geraldton, to Greenough, right down to Perth, and a lot of places in between. As you mentioned, I've been to Meekatharra, to Kew, Mount Magnet, and to Nallin Lake, which I absolutely love because there's such a wide variety of birds there. It's so lovely to see there are so many wedge-tailed eagles still out there, and I think there's nothing more majestic than seeing one of our biggest flight birds of prey. I think it's the largest bird of prey that we have. Wedge-tailed eagles are just so majestic. If you don't have patience, then don't even bother trying to go birding. Catching birds in flight is always challenging because they are unpredictable and you never know where they're going to move to. The more stable you can keep a camera and the more still, exactly the same as film photography, the better photo you're going to get. Even if we've got camouflage, camo nets, or wearing, clothes like that, birds can see us coming for miles. So it's nice to have a big lens like this, and hopefully you can get close enough to get some good shots, because there are a lot of species down there today. And I sat quietly, backed up against a tree trunk, and I got a first for me, a juvenile banded buff rail. I haven't even got an adult yet. So pleased. Just one good photo. All I need is one good photo and I'm happy. Just one good photo makes my day. Oh, not quite.